Hey, it's Looms here, and I'm finally uploading a tutorial to YouTube, and I'm really happy, excited, can finally get around to making a tutorial. So yeah, and in this tutorial I'll be showing you how to make my Avalanche bracelet. So yeah, this is my original design, and I know that this isn't in bracelet form, it's just sort of a charm. I did make another one that's more lengthier, but I couldn't find it, otherwise I would have just put it, alongside here. But if you want to take a closer look of this design, I've posted it on my Instagram, so you can definitely go check it out on there. And this is a hook only design, so yeah, let's get right into it. So to make this bracelet, you'll be needing a hook. I'll be using a double-ended crochet hook because it's longer and I can fit more bands on it, and it's going to make your life a lot easier if you use a double-ended crochet hook. It's going to be pretty tricky just on a regular loom hook. And you'll also be needing some bands. Today I'll just be using regular glow white for the border, and I'll be alternating between Caribbean green and pearl pink as my main colours, and then you'll also be needing a C-clip or any type of closure. So now we can get started. So like with all hook only designs, we're going to create a cap band on our hook just simply by creating a figure 8 shape with a band. Now what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating an 8 loop setup. So we're going to pull a band through the cap band, and we're going to lift the outside loop. And what we'll be doing here is the fishtail border stitch, which was designed or created, first created by Loomy Mama on Instagram. So credits go to her for first inventing this. So what we do next is we take our next band and pull it through the first 2 loops and lift the outside loop, leaving the cap band and then closing it. And we're going to do this again, so just through the first 2 loops and then lifting the outside one. So we just basically added 2 bands onto the first half. Now we have to add them to the other half. So we're going to switch sides. Just going to temporarily just take this band off so that we can pick up the other cap band loop. I'm going to take another band, pull it through the first 2 loops, lift the outside one, and then just do it once more. Just like that. So there you have your 8 loops set up. And now we'll be pulling through a band through the middle 4 loops, and we're going to pick up the outside 2 of those middle 4. And these bands are, if you remember the bracelet I showed you earlier, it's the bands that hold together in the center. You can either use a different color or you can just use the same color as the border, which is what I'll be doing. So place the band on your hook and pull it through. The way I do it is I pull it through the first 6, and then I'll just pick up those 2 again after. So pull it through the first 6, lift the first one, skip the next 2, and then pick up the rest of them and then close it. And then just got to rearrange these 2 bands over. And now we'll be starting with our the coloured bands that create the pattern. So what we do is we're just going to simply place a band on our hook over in between these first 2 and then the third one. So I'm going to just place it. So you notice how it's going over the first 2 bands. So it's in between the second band and the third band. Then what you'll be doing is you'll be shifting the third band over that coloured band you just placed. Now this band, this one here, the Caribbean green, is going to be kind of loose, so you just want to be careful with it. Just hold it in place like that. And now we'll be adding a border band, so just pull it through the first 3 loops and lift the outside one, and then close it. So you should have something like this. It's going to look a little bit like, what is this? But you'll see it will tighten up as we go along in the bracelet. So we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So turn your hook around. And you don't want your bands to go out of order. As you can see, the center band moved out of place. So just fix your bands up if that ever happens. So it should look like this. And another band went out of place. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to grab the same color, Caribbean green. I'm going to place it over the first 2 loops. And then move this band that's next to it over it. And then just hold it down. Then grab another border and pull it through the first 3 and lift the outside one. Just like that. So as of right now, you should have 10 loops on your hook. And what we're going to do now is we're going to pull it through the middle 6 and we're going to lift the outside 2, so the Caribbean green and the outside white, and just leaving the 2 middle ones. So I'm going to take a band, I'm going to pull it through the first 8. I'm going to lift these first 2, skip the next 2, and then lift the rest, and then close it. I'm just going to move those outside 2 over. Yep, nail polish is chipping off. That's okay. Just like that. So now we're ready to add our next colour. For me is the pearl pink, like I mentioned earlier. And we're just going to do the same thing by placing it over those 2 border bands in between the second and third loops. We're going to move this loop, which is our center band, over that pink pearl, or pearl pink, whatever you want to call it. And then we pull through another border band. Same way we did before, just pull it through the first 3 and lift the outside one. Going to repeat the same steps to the other side. Taking another pink, placing it over like that, and move this band over it. Grab a border colour, pull it through the first 3 loops, and lift the outside one. Now you should have 12 loops on your hook, and this is why I said that you should definitely use a double-ended crochet hook. There's going to be a lot of bands on your hook, so yeah. And as you can see, this Caribbean green band that we first started off with is starting to tighten up as we go. So we're going to grab another center band, and this time I'm going to pull it through the middle 8, and we're going to be picking up the outside 2 loops and the middle 2 Caribbean green. So we're going to take this band and pull it through the first 10. And we're going to lift the first 2, skip the next band and pick up those 2 Caribbean green bands. And then we're going to skip the next one and lift the rest of them, and then put this back on your hook. And then just rearrange those outside 2. Just like that. And now I'm back to Caribbean green. So I'm going to place it on like we've always been doing, and then pull this band over. And then pull a border band through the first 3 and lift the outside one. There we go. And we're going to repeat it on the other side. Once again, if your bands get out of order, please do fix them. So there should be like, before you add any Caribbean green bands, there should be like 6 loops in the middle of that center band. So So I'm adding another Caribbean green in between the second and third band, and then now the third band is the fourth band, so pulling the fourth over the third, and then we grab a border colour and pull it through the first three, different band, there we go, pull it through the first three and lift the outside one. Okay, so once we're up to this point, it's going to be a bit different because now we'll be finally releasing these Caribbean green bands. So what we'll be doing is we're pulling it through all of these middle bands except for these outer two ones, like that. All of those center bands, and we're going to be lifting the outside two and the two pearl pinks. So let's do this. Let's pull it through all of those, except for the last two. Lift the first two, and then we're going to pick up the two pearl pinks. And then pick up the rest of them. And then move these two over to the outside. So from this point forward, the steps are going to be exactly the same. So I'm adding my next colour. Pulling or just rearranging this band to sit over this one. And grab a border colour, pull it through the first three loops and lift the outside one. And then you can change sides. Once again, I'm adding another pearl pink, rearranging these two. And then grabbing a border band and pulling it through the first three like always and lifting the outside one. And just like before, we're pulling it through all of the center bands except for the outer two ones here. And we're lifting the outside two, so these two. And then this time it's the two Caribbean green. So basically it's the outside two, and then you're skipping this layer, picking up this layer and skipping the middle layer. So that's another way to look at it. So I'm going to pull a band through everything except for the last two. Lift these first two, skip the next one, pick up that Caribbean green, skip the next two, and then pick up grab the Caribbean green, skip that white, we don't pick that one up, and then we pick up the rest of them. No! Let me just fix this. Okay. Yep. Fixed. Yes, okay. And now I'm back to Caribbean green. So I'm going to drop it on here. Pull the fourth over the third. There. Fourth over the third. There we go. And then we add our border band, you know, same thing, through the first three and lift the outside band. Nothing changes there, and painting on the other side. And another Caribbean green. Okay, adding that one. Switching these two, and then pulling a border band through. And now it's time to add another center holding band. Pull it through everything except for the last two. Lift the first two, skip the next white, pick up the next, skip those middle two, pick up the next one, skip the next one, and then lift the rest of them. And then we repeat the same steps once more. So I'm back to my pink. Just doing that step, adding a border band, changing sides, and repeating the same step, just plonking on another pink one, then rearranging those two, and then another border band. Okay, so now I'll be showing you how to close up the bracelet, but firstly I'm sorry about the lighting changing. I actually lost footage of this part of the video, so I'm refilming it the day after. So this is basically what my videos would look like if I filmed them at night time instead of during the day. So I'd really appreciate your feedback on what's better. But yeah, so what we want to do is pull our center band through just like normal. So through everything except for the last two. Lift the outside two, and then those two Caribbean greens, and then the other outside two, and then the rest, just how I've explained it earlier. And this time, instead of adding another Caribbean green band, we're just going to add a white band to the border by pulling it through the first three and lifting the outside one. And then we're doing the same to the other side. Pulling it through the first three and lifting the outside one. And now we'll be adding another center band. So it's like the second step when we did it at the bottom. So we're pulling it through all the bands except the last two. But this time it is going to be a bit different yet again. So we'll just be lifting the outside two loops without picking up any Caribbean green or any other ones. So pulling it through all the middle loops except for these ones outside, and you pick up the pink and the outside white, the pink and the outside white. So pull it through those, lift the outside one, pink, and then the pink and the other outside loop, and then put those border loops back on. So we're almost done. Just going to add a border band to either side, same way we've been doing, through the first three, lifting the outside one. And then, once we're at this point, we can just simply pull a band through everything, close it, and then you can get a C-clip. So I'm just going to get one. And we can close it just by clipping the C-clip onto the last two remaining bands. And you're done. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. That would be really appreciated. And if you do make this bracelet, please hashtag it to Avalanche bracelet on Instagram, and also hashtag Emerald Looms and tag me in your photos so I can see it and comment and like it. And yeah, I would love to see your renditions. I'm really excited to see what you guys come up with. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.